We'll call this council meeting of September 13th to order. Please call a roll, ma'am.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
First item is the approval of minutes of the regular session, August 23rd.
So moved. Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
I move we open the public hearing for the 2021-22 operating and capital budget.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Haig,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Mr. Slagle.
Okay. This evening, we do have the public hearing for the 2022 fiscal year budget. In accordance with Missouri State statute, I'm pleased to present the City of Mexico's operating budget for the fiscal year that begins October 1, 2021, and runs through September 30 of 2022. This budget is based on council direction and the use of long-range financial planning, which uses a conservative financial balancing approach and assuming an extended recovery from our current pandemic. At the forefront of any decision that we make is how best to fund the core and essential city service needs of the citizens in the most effective and efficient manner possible. The City of Mexico does adhere to the generally accepted accounting principles applicable to governments. Governmental finance is based upon fund accounting. Each fund operates like a separate business within the greater organization, and each fund accounts for different services and activities. This budget maintains the fund balance reserves as required by City Council policy and utilizes surplus savings from prior years to help fund non-reoccurring expenses and the purchase of capital assets. City staff continues to pursue partnerships, grants, donations, and other sources to supplement funding for operation and capital projects. The preparation of this budget was a team effort from every level of our organization. Unnecessary expenses have been removed, personnel costs have been controlled, and program efficiencies have been implemented. This budget is balanced, and the city is operating in a lean, condensed state. The total operating expenditures are estimated at $19,405,701, with total revenues estimated to reach $16,546,406. The expenditures do exceed revenues by $2,859,295, and that will be funded by project reserves, unreserved surpluses from prior year's budgets, and the American Rescue Plan funds. The additional expenditures are for interfund transfers, planned capital equipment purchases, planned equipment improvement projects that from project reserves, and carryover of improvement projects. The total adjusted property value for this budget year has increased over the prior year. Retail sales receipts have increased, lodging tax receipts are up slightly, but the gross receipts tax income is down. In June of 2020, the citizens of Mexico approved the collection of a use tax. Retailers began collecting the use tax in October of 2020, and receipts from the use tax have exceeded our expectations. The revenue from the use tax has been committed to support community and capital improvements, with current revenues paying in part for the recent construction of the Fairgrounds Aquatic Center. The American Rescue Plan Act that was signed by President Biden in March is for cities across America, which includes Mexico, to receive federal funds to meet COVID pandemic response needs and to rebuild a stronger and more equitable local economy. The City of Mexico is expected to receive a little over $2.3 million. Governor Parsons signed Senate Bill 262 into law in July 2021, and this is intended to increase transportation funding. Revenues from the state road fund will increase by 2.5 cents per gallon of fuel purchased annually for 5 years, starting in 2021. The state distributes a portion of these funds to cities and counties for the maintenance and repair of local streets and roads. Of course, like anyone, we are seeing reoccurring operational expenditures and the cost of replacing our capital equipment going up every year. Missouri voters did turn to the polls in 2018 and passed Proposition B, which was a minimum wage initiative. The minimum wage does increase 85 cents a year until the wage rate reaches $12 in the year 2023. This has required the city to increase our wage rates. The nationwide labor shortage is currently hitting many employment sectors, and we are not immune from this. This has made it very difficult to attract and retain employees, as well as keep pace with the rising wage pressures. Workers are simply not coming back to work at this time. Growth in the housing inventory has also slowed over the last decade. Far fewer homes have been built compared to the number of people who want them. Therefore, housing and rent prices are rising respectively. This housing shortage has fueled a demand for incentives by cities to help meet the housing infrastructure needs within our community. Property values are assessed at a percent of market value. Commercial property is assessed at 32%, personal property at 33.3%, residential property at 19%, and agricultural property at 12%. What does that generally mean is that if you have a residential property that's valued at $100,000, you're only going to pay taxes on $19,000 or 19% of that. And then the tax rates are set at $100 of assessed value. This year's property valuations did increase. It is now a little over $158.7 million compared to previous years of $155 million. Basically a net increase of a little over $3.7 million in assessed values. The city's property tax rate will be a total of 73.92 cents per $100 of assessed valuation. This rate has gone down slightly over last year. The rate for the general fund is a little over 44 cents. The Parks and Recreation at 9 cents, almost 10 cents, 9.96, and then the Public Health Fund is at 19.92 cents per 100. And like I said, this is down slightly over current year. As mentioned earlier, sales tax revenues is up, gross receipts tax is down, lodging tax revenues up, and then the use tax revenues is above expectations. As we prepared this budget, we also have to pay attention to our insurance rates each year. And some of the most notable ones is that the property and liability insurance budget estimate is to increase by 10%. This is predominantly due to police liability and cybersecurity coverage. Dental premiums are estimated to increase 8%. Health insurance budget estimates up 10%. This budget does include costs associated with continuing the high deductible plan coupled with the use of a health savings account, with dependent premium increases being split proportionally between employee and the city. However, all insurance rate increases have been estimated based on current industry averages. However, all prices will be bid to ensure the best possible rates. Our staffing needs for the upcoming year. Like most, staffing problems continue to exist due to increased wage pressure, lack of available workers, and high employee turnover rates. This budget does include a 1% cost of living adjustment, as well as a wage step increase for full-time employees on the wage schedule. Part-time hourly rates, volunteer fire personnel on-call, out pay, as well as hourly employee on-call pay will be increased. All wage adjustments will be implemented in accordance with the city's compensation plan. Full-time staffing levels will remain the same as compared to the current budget year. Our assistance for outside agencies. Our charitable agencies, we have budgeted for the Mexico Senior Center, $14,000. The Audrain County Historical Society, $4,900. The Miss Missouri Scholarship Pageant, $10,000. The Help Center, $5,000, and Optimus Youth Sports, $5,000. These are the same amounts as in the current budget, and we are honoring those for the upcoming year. For our contract agencies, for the Handy Shop to do the recycling program, $12,000. The Mexico Chamber of Commerce for marketing, $13,000. Presser Hall for community theater, $10,000. And the Mexico Chamber of Commerce for economic development activities, $5,000. And again, these are the same amounts that we have budgeted in the current year and going forth in the next year. As mentioned earlier, we do seek external revenue sources to help us fund the budget, and this year we have planned for a few of those as follows. From MoDOT, we're expecting a TEEP grant to study the Liberty and Clark intersection street study for $8,000. From DOT for one runway displacement, $180,000. From the Department of Transportation, Airport, AWAS Access Road, $135,000. Department of Transportation, Airport pavement replacement, $135,000. Federal CARES funding for the airport, $10,000. And the American Rescue Grant to help purchase a fire truck in the amount of $1,050,000. Additionally, we are expecting donations from the Park Foundation for a park signage project of $12,500. Individual funds. We'll start with the city's general fund, which is the city's chief operating fund. The general fund budget of revenue for fiscal year is estimated to be at $6,979,808, and expenditure estimated to reach $7,923,808, plus a transfer out of $30,000 to the airport fund and a set aside of $100,000 of project reserves for total expenditures to be $8,053,808. The estimated expenditures, qualifying capital expenditures, interfund transfers, and project reserves are greater than revenues by $1,074,000. However, the non-reoccurring capital expenditures in the general fund total $2,190,225, and we'll go through those shortly. And the expenditure of $1.2 million for a new aerial fire truck will be funded with the American Rescue Plan grant funding. Therefore, considering all the qualifying capital expenditures, the set aside for project reserves, no cash balances are being expended for reoccurring operating. And the ending fund balance goal by policy has been met, and the ending fund balance will still remain at 54%. Some of the major projects in the general fund for public safety, as mentioned earlier, an aerial fire truck, $1.2 million. Thermal imaging camera, $13,300. Mobile data terminals, $40,000. Training room lockers, $5,500. And patrol vehicles, $69,000. In the community development department, a photo scan copy machine equipment, $11,000. A mid-sized truck for code enforcement, $25,000. Sidewalk replacement program, $7,500. In the engineering department, PubWorks GIS software, $8,575. And a plotter scanner in large format, $9,500. Stormwater. Lakeview Lake Dam improvements, $90,000. Annual stormwater improvements, $10,000. Pipe replacement, Fairgrounds Lakeview, $10,000. Culvert replacement on Pollock Road, $35,000. Stormwater reconstruction at Abbott and Love, $15,000. Under the forestry brush grinding department, a 65-foot track lift for $95,000. In cemetery budget, mini skid steer attachments, $14,400, and replace the storage building at the cemetery, $85,000. Street and maintenance, flatbed trailer replacement, $33,000. Equipment trailer, $5,000. An excavator, $59,950. A 3/4 ton pickup, $34,000. A dump truck, $135,000. Snow plow, $8,700. In building and grounds, City Hall, painting and repair, some interior work, $15,000. City Hall elevator rebuild, $155,800. The next fund we'll talk about is the wastewater operations. Budgeted revenues for the fiscal year are estimated at $3,238,840. Operating expenditures at $2,576,373. An interfund transfer of $745,150 to the wastewater debt service fund and a project reserve of $80,000 for total expenditures $3,401,523. The ending fund balance provides for 90 days of operating cash reserves, required reserves for facility restoration and replacement, funds for upcoming bond payments and future improvements. The ending fund balance policy has been met by this fund. In this fund also includes $777,000 in planned capital improvement projects. Those projects are a pickup extended cab 4x4, $43,500. Collection system improvements, $75,000. Collection system slip lining projects, $300,000. Collection system infiltration sonar, $30,000. Building improvements for a HVAC system at the wastewater plant, $93,500. Lift station pumps, $25,000. Jet truck cleaning equipment, $10,000. Wastewater treatment plant aeration basin diffusers, $160,000. Lift station improvements, $20,000. And wastewater treatment plant drives and alarms, $20,000. This budget reflects a 3% adjustment in wastewater rates for the upcoming fiscal year. To note that many cities across America are working on reducing their inflow and infiltration into their wastewater collection system. City of Mexico does the same, and we have a program in place to perform system improvements, reduce the I&I in the collection system, and this has been an ongoing effort for several years, and it does also include a private sewer line repair assistance program. On the slide, you can see the major difference between an old sewer line and a relined sewer line that does increase flow as well as keep out the infiltration and inflow coming into the system. In the sanitation fund, revenues received from the sanitation garbage utility bills are deposited into this fund. The expenses are for the contracted residential refuse collection services, spring and fall cleanups, recycling and household hazardous waste disposal are all paid out of this fund. Budgeted revenues for the fiscal year estimated at $678,562, and expenditures for operations are estimated at $668,516, plus project reserves in the amount of $11,000, for total expenditures $679,516. The ending fund balance has been met. This budget does anticipate a 5% adjustment in the base sanitation rate for the upcoming fiscal year to start in April of 2022. This rate adjustment will cover increase in landfill fees and the annual rate increase for the residential refuse collection. Economic Development Fund. Budgeted revenues are estimated at $304,886. Expenditures $233,550, and an interfund transfer of $123,169 for total expenditures amounting to $356,719. Lease revenue received from city-owned industrial speculative building is deposited in this fund, but also we have building owner expenses related to that building and expenses for job creation, retention, industrial recruitment, economic development planning are all paid out of this fund. The city owns the railroad spur that serves the business park. That spur also is in need of repairs ongoing, and $20,000 has been budgeted this fiscal year to make repairs. The city now owns the AP Green MAB property, and lease revenue received from its tenants is deposited into this fund as well. Interfund transfers out of this fund is for the purposes of making the NID bond payment on that property. As current owners of that property, the city is also responsible for repairing a sewer line to one of the tenants, and that cost is estimated at $48,500. And we have some continuing demolition activities that we're currently estimated at $24,500. The ending fund balance in this fund also exceeds our balanced policy goal. In the Parks and Recreation Fund, budgeted revenues for the fiscal year, $1,325,693, with total expenditures estimated at $1,527,862. The Parks and Recreation budget does reflect a reduction in cash balance by a little over $202,000 due to current carryover capital projects, equipment purchases, and planned capital projects. However, the minimum ending fund balance is at 8%, but we'll still be at 20% regardless of these expenditures. We did have the rededication of the Fairgrounds Aquatic Center in May of 2021. Money from the Parks and Recreation Fund and the use tax are making the principal and interest payments on a 10-year bank loan used to help finance the Aquatic Center. That's being paid out of this fund. Some of the major programs and projects in this fund this year: welding tools, $8,450, a cargo trailer, $10,500, a wide area mower, $62,000, vehicle replacement for the Recreation Department, $28,000, a lift gate replacement for a truck, $16,300, park map signage project, $12,500, picnic tables, $9,500, building improvements, $24,500, and in the pool, some fixtures, furniture and equipment replacement, $7,500. In the Public Health Fund, the cost for running the animal shelter, nuisance abatements, dangerous building demolitions, pest control is all paid out of this fund. The Public Health Animal Control Fund budgeted revenues for the year is estimated to be at $354,886, with estimated expenditures $433,936. The expenditures do exceed the revenues and is being funded by unreserved surplus from prior years. The reduction in cash balance is intended to support the continued funding for the dangerous building demolition program and nuisance abatements. The ending fund balance policy is maintained and higher than required. The Airport Fund. The day-to-day airport operational expenses are paid out of this fund. Budgeted revenues are estimated to be $518,000 to $180,000, with expenditures $582,072. A $30,000 transfer from the general fund is being made to support base operations, and the ending fund balance will still be over $60,000, which is well above the minimum ending fund balance policy. Some major capital expenditures that will be going on will be funded this year 90% by a DOT grant, and those are the runway improvements in the amount of $200,000, AWAS Access Road $150,000, as well as $150,000 for some pavement projects. The city is also expected to receive a CARES grant. The Capital Improvement Sales Tax Fund. This is a dedicated capital improvement fund and investment income, and the income for the year is estimated to be at $897,626. All the expenditures from this fund are for capital outlay projects and a transfer to the general fund to support the street maintenance and stormwater projects. The main projects in this fund this year are for asphalt overlays, $280,000, sidewalk improvements, $65,000, pavement and curb replacements, $60,000, Smiley Lane extension, $216,300, Mars Street extension planning, $10,000, and project reserves of $20,000, and then the transfer to support the street and stormwater projects. The Capital Projects Reserve Fund. This fund was originally established to transfer unreserved surpluses from the city's general fund to be held in reserve for future capital projects. As a part of the city's debt management plan, the city plans ahead, saves money, and uses the pay-as-we-go approach for most capital project purchases. By using this approach, the city was able to save and contribute $1,259,000 in cash towards the new Fairgrounds Aquatic Center. In June, the citizens of Mexico did approve the collection of the local use tax. The revenue from that tax is committed to support community and capital improvement projects, and the dedicated receipts from the use tax collections are now being deposited in this fund. The revenue for the fund is estimated at $233,485, with expenditures of $135,465. The only expenditure in this fund is being transferred to the Parks Fund to pay the portion that we set aside for the principal and interest payment on the bank loan for the Fairgrounds Aquatic Center. The preparation of this budget, I do want to note, was a team effort. I want to thank the entire city staff for their work on it, especially Roger Haynes and Vicki Dinky within the Administrative Services Department for their help in preparing this, and the department directors for working to bring in expenses as needed to be to maintain our health as well as our financial condition of the community. And with that, Your Honor, we will try to answer any questions that you or the citizens may have.
Okay, we'll open it up to the council. You have any questions for Mr. Slagle?
The diffusion thing that we're listening to later, that's on the budget, it's listed as more than what's listed here.
It's budgeted in the current year and in next year, because we knew it would be a carryover project. So part of it's budgeted this year, part of it's next year.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions from the council? If not, we'll open the floor to the public. If you'd like to make a comment or question, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and try to hold it to 3 minutes. Finding no one coming forward, I move that the public hearing, I'm lost.
Second.
Close.
Close.
Senior moment, Chris.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Item 5, 2 readings by title only, bill number 2021-57, ordinance revising the budget of the city of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2020 to September 30, 2021, inclusive in adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2021 to September 30, 2022, inclusive appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditure of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purpose indicated.
Can we count that as the first reading? I move for first reading of bill number 2021-57.
Second.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2021-57, ordinance revising the budget for the city of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2020 to September 30, 2021, inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2021 to September 30, 2022, inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditure of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purpose indicated. I move for the second reading of bill number 2021-57.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2021-57, an ordinance revising the budget for the city of Mexico, Missouri for the fiscal year October 1, 2020 to September 30, 2021, inclusive, and adopting the budget for the fiscal year October 1, 2021 to September 30th, 2022, inclusive, appropriating the funds as allocated to various accounts and authorizing the expenditure of such funds by the city manager and other officials for the purpose indicated. I move for passage of bill number 2021-57.
Second.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Item 6, resolutions. Bill number 2021-58, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with SMICO Contracting Group LLC for aeration diffuser replacement work at the wastewater treatment facility. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, sir. We have taken bids for this project, and to cover the bids and recommendation, Kenzie Russell.
This project is to replace the diffuser membranes in the aeration basins at the wastewater plant and to remove the snails and grit that accumulates in those basins. It's been about 10 years or 11 years since this was last done. And it's a recurring type of thing, roughly every 10 years. Smyco is the way they pronounce that. It's Smith is the principal company, is where the name comes from, was the low bidder at $244,113. We did have 5 bids. We're recommending the acceptance of the bid from Smyco. They did do work for us previously, so we do have experience with them.
So I was reading the letter from Horner and Schifrin, and the butterfly valves, do we not know they were going to need replaced, or we just don't know yet?
We do not know yet. Our plant operators think that they're okay at this point. It's something that we may be faced with in 3-4 years, possibly.
Other questions?
I move for first reading of bill number 2021-58.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes. Bill number 2021-58, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Smyco Contracting Group LLC for aeration diffuser replacement work at the wastewater treatment facility. This only requires one reading, right? I move for passage.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Hay,
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Item B, bill number 2021-59, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign modernization proposal with Cone Incorporated for the City Hall elevator. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, as council knows, we are experiencing some elevator issues, and to move this project along because of lead time necessary for parts, we are proposing to move forward now, even though this is the next year's budget, but we won't pay for it till January. So to cover the details of the project, Rita Jackson.
This project, as Mr. Slagle indicated, is a modernization or an upgrade for our City Hall elevator. During its annual inspection in April of 2021 by ATIS Elevator Inspections, it was determined that the elevator no longer meets safety code and the Americans with Disability Act requirements. Our proposal was solicited for upgrades from Cone Inc., sole source provider for the elevator model. The proposal was based on a 2022 installation to modernize this current elevator. Cone's proposal came in at $155,789, which includes a new control system, a new door operator, and a new push-button panel in the hall and the elevator cars. Funding for this project, as indicated, is in the 2021-22 annual budget in the amount of $155,800. Approving the proposal would allow Cone to order the parts, which has a 14-week lead time, and approval also would allow the upgrade to be scheduled in January of 2022 to get our parts in. This is actually a 5-week installation plus one additional day for the inspection. And actually doing this in the month of January, we're also looking, they didn't want a price increase. It's a possibility the longer we wait, the price could increase. And it's less traffic in City Hall in the month of January. Staff recommends the council proceed with reading by title only and passage authorizing the city manager to sign a modernization proposal submitted by Cone for the City Hall elevator.
Do we get a warranty or service contract with that, or is it just once it's in, it's in?
We get both warranty, and we also get
And how long it is?
1 year, and it's, we get on our maintenance, it's about, Roger, from, I guess, it a 14%?
Last time I did it was 15%.
Okay, so we do get maintenance agreement with it.
And that's been running roughly a little over 5,000 a year. That maintenance.
So does this bid include everything that's current in the elevator currently? Because they've got a lot of exclusions, and so I just want to make sure we're not looking at, oh, we're going to have to hire somebody else to do another part, or, I mean, this is the whole package.
The proposal includes everything. It's what they call a turnkey operation, which the electricians and everything that will be needed for this project is also included in this proposal.
I move for first reading of bill number 2021-59.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Briggs?
Yes.
Bill number 2021-59, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a modernization proposal with Cone Incorporated for the City Hall elevator. I move for passage of bill number 2021-59.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Briggs?
Yes.
Next item under other business, staff report purchase of replacement parts for wastewater pumps. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, we have some pumps at the wastewater facility that are in need of some repair work, and we need some parts to do that. To cover the details, Kenzie Russell.
These are our large pumps on the influent pump station at the wastewater plant. The latest inspection that's been done shows significant wear and tear on the impellers and the sleeves that affects the efficiency of the pump. And so we're recommended those are flight pumps, which there's only a sole source distributor for. Vandeventer Company is the distributor. So we're looking at obtaining the repair parts, the replacement parts for those two pumps, ordering them now so they can be installed when the next quarterly inspection is done. That if we have the parts on hand, that saves the mobilization and an extra service call fee for us. There's also the lead time that Rita referred to on the elevator. All of our parts and equipment are getting longer and longer lead times currently. The price quote is $18,706. We have budgeted $25,000 in our lift station repair fund in the upcoming budget, which is where the cost would be taken.
Questions?
I move for purchase of replacement parts for wastewater pumps from Vandeventer? There you go. Engineering Company, Fenton, Missouri, for $18,706.
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Briggs?
Yes.
Next item is payment of the claims.
Make a motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hay?
Yes.
Shivers? Yes. Briggs?
Yes.
Next item are comments. We begin with the council. Begin with you, Mr. Hague.
Nothing really this time. Good start to the school year, so hopefully it continues. Enjoy the weather, get out and enjoy the parks and everything. We got this great weather, not too hot. So, about it.
Mr. Williams.
There's not a whole lot to say, except I want to say congratulations to Coach Haig over here, who has a ranked football team in our community. So congratulations. Good luck the rest of the season. And that's all I got.
Mrs. Briggs?
Not much. I want to thank the engineering department. They took one of my students today, and I know Drew took him most of the day, but I took him half a day. He's coming over. He's already graduated from high school, but we have him as a student, and he's an pre-engineering student, so they're entertaining him for a little while, so I appreciate that.
Dr. Shears?
First, I just want to publicly say thank you for having such a wonderful community that was so giving when they had Edward Williams benefit this past weekend. I was working along with that and just seeing the love and support that came from that. And also for those who are able to participate in the Relay for Life. It's for anyone to say there's nothing going on in Mexico. There are several events going on simultaneously throughout the town, so I encourage you to always just try to participate. Enjoy.
Mr. Slagle?
Piggybacking on what Councilman Shivers just said, is that before the next meeting, we have Walk Back in Time, Homecoming, and all those events that's going to be going on here shortly in our community. So a lot of activity is going to happen in the next couple weeks in the community, so
Busy.
busy times.
Spend money.
I believe they've really covered it all, so I'm going to open this up to the public. If you'd like to make a comment, please come to the podium, state your name and your address. Try to hold your comment to 3 minutes.
I only get 3 minutes? Okay. Hi, I'm Jennifer Pryor, and my address is 1903 Pollock Road here in Mexico. And I was going to say golf carts. I just went through the process of licensing a golf cart. It belonged to a family friend, and I was helping them out. And my question is, as I see all kinds of riding lawnmowers, motorized wheelchairs with 5 people hanging on them, and little gators and stuff all over the city riding around, yet I have to license a golf cart to be able to drive on the city streets that has a headlight, blinkers, brake lights, all the legal stuff on it. So my question is, because I'll be honest, I don't know the exact wording for the city for having golf carts on the streets, but I do know that you can't do it. And working with the License Bureau, God love them, but I had to educate them. They wanted to send me over here to get a city sticker. I had to educate them that doesn't exist and that we can license a golf cart in the state of Missouri. So through a few trips, we got it all worked out. But that's my question is, I guess, why do we have to license a golf cart, but all the other little ATVs and all that can go all over the city streets and we don't seem to be fazed by it?
ATVs aren't supposed to be.
They should be.
I'm just asking the question.
I can't answer the why we don't have all the others. That's just something the council would do, which you keep saying licensing a golf cart. You licensed an LSV, which is a low-speed vehicle.
Low-speed vehicle,
Which
sorry.
is not a golf cart. It has much
Okay.
more stuff on it.
Thank you.
And it is governed by the laws of the state of Missouri and doesn't have anything to do with the city of Mexico.
Right.
If we wanted to put golf carts on the street, we'd have to have I guess, an ordinance from the council allowing people to put golf carts on the street.
Well, and I guess that's what I'm asking, is because I couldn't legally drive this low-speed vehicle on the streets without it being licensed. But I'm seeing all other things on the streets of Mexico, which I live by the academy. I love the military academy, so it's nothing against them. But their little gators are up and down the city streets all day long, for training and stuff. I get it. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just asking the question, is they can do that. I can see riding lawnmowers all over this town and everything else. So, if I were to drive my low-speed vehicle without it being licensed, would I, how much trouble are we in? Do you see what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
My understanding is we don't have anything to do with that, right?
We don't have anything to do
That's
with
the
low-speed
state-
vehicles.
Yeah, that's a state issue. That has nothing to do with us.
So if I drove my low-speed vehicle and it wasn't licensed,
You'd be in violation of the state. State patrol could pull you over.
yeah, but
That was city, that has nothing to do
so
with
the
us.
city cannot pull you over.
I mean,
if
I
you-
guess they
Yeah.
could.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's all, I want someone in the know, I mean, no offense, but, yeah, so I would be pulled
If you drive
over.
over city, you would be in violation of city law because we don't allow.
So the
dog parks.
lawnmowers and
They're
the
not-
gators and all that,
They're not legal either.
they're not legal
If you'd like for us
either.
to review that policy, I'll,
Yeah, I would request to review it just for consistency across the board, if that's okay.
thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Yes, you can.
I'll take my hat off.
Not this guy.
Marcy, Steve Nichols, 11 Quantico. Hi, City Council. I would like to ask the council to consider allowing low-speed vehicles and side-by-sides to run on the streets of Mexico. They have the safety equipment that they need. She was talking about the lawnmowers and stuff like that. There's I don't know what it's called, but it's like a little trike that wiggles in the center. At 10 o'clock at night, it was going down Liberty Street and turning down Fairground. No reflectors, no lights, no nothing. And this girl's probably about 2 foot off the ground. And so anyway, I'd like for you to consider doing that.
Steve, let me clarify something. You said UTVs and LSVs. You mean
Yes.
UTVs and golf carts or UTVs and LSVs? Because we have anything to do with LSVs.
You don't have anything to do with that.
That's state mandated, low-speed
Okay.
vehicles.
So it would be side-by-sides and golf carts.
Or, yeah,
Is that
yes, sir.
the right categories?
I just want to
Okay.
make sure you understand LSVs are not our mandate,
Yes,
the
yes.
state of Missouri. Okay?
Just you'll rule what you can. Back in the wintertime, I broke the law 2 years ago. We had heavy snow, and I have a trailer that goes in the back of my truck to haul my snowblower. So I go from Quantico over to Mom's house on Curtis. And the way it was, I had one lane traffic down the streets. And if I parked my truck there, couldn't get a car down the street. So I put my cart on the top, the back of my side-by-side and took a snowblower and pulled up in the yard, and it works a lot better that way. No traffic congestion or anything. So consider that as done.
I understand.
Yeah. And don't arrest me for past offenses, Bryce. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Follow me next year.
Mr. Slagle, and the council, I mean, we have two people here that are asking us to review our policy. I'm not really the right person to be involved in this, but although I am retired, but is it the pleasure of this council to ask Mr. Slagle to look into this again?
We just looked into it this year, to be honest. And I think we were very definitive about why we didn't want to consider it at that time.
So a wheelchair is safer than a golf cart?
Is a wheelchair supposed to be running down the street?
Doesn't matter whether it's supposed to be, it's whether we allow it or not. Anyway, okay, thank you for your input, folks. Is there anybody else that would like to make a public comment? If not, I move that we adjourn into executive session pursuant to revised statute of Missouri 610-021, 1 litigation, 3 personnel.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs.
We're adjourned in the executive session.